what do you have to say about when verified journalists who've been there in the game for so long, who've been there in the profession for so long, propagate these conspiracy theories? Do you How do you feel? Because you are also, at the end of the day, you are also from the same community, and these are also
Yeah.
people who represent your community in a way. So
Yes.
how does it feel to see people who don't uphold what you can probably say are the ethics of journalism, and then indulge in something which is anything but journalism? How does it feel to
It's
someone
terrible.
like you who's been in the field
It
for
feels
30 years?
terrible. I mean, it just feels terrible. You feel like you are being that someone is letting down your team almost, and I think and particularly what's happened in cricket journalism, that it's become this popularity generation. I have to have so many followers, and and also organizations put pressure on young journalists to do this. Organizations are as much behind this whole game of likes and retweets and whatever and everything. And I keep telling people that I would really struggle as a 20-year-old going, the 20-year-old that I was would really struggle in this environment. I don't think I would be able to get through in a profession like this. I would just have to retreat to the copy desk or library or something like that, because I really would have struggled. I find it very disappointing when that happens, when games are played. But I mean, to be fair, there was always this kind of engagement that was going on through news copy. You saw it to come flitting through, you find it there. Somebody speaking on behalf of this player, somebody speaking on behalf of that player. But what's happened now on Twitter is that it's 24/7. It's non-stop. It's always there. It's always someone fighting for someone, fighting for someone. It's very disappointing when that happens. You see a lot of cricket journalism, it just gets reduced to stenography when it comes to BCCI related things, or when it comes to player cause related things. I mean, a lot of us were also part of the cycle of players giving you information and telling you things, and then you grow up and you discover and say, this is rubbish, this is nonsense. But if you don't grow up out of that, then it just becomes, it's purposeless. Then you're not a journalist. Then you're just what is that word that I'm looking for? You're definitely not. You're definitely not a journalist. You're just. Can you use bad language in your?
Sure. I mean, depends on what kind
I mean,
of.
you're just a shit stirrer. You're just stirring up shit the whole time. You're just a shit stirrer. And that's not, journalism is not about shit stirring. Journalism is about calling truth to power, as they say, in some way, in whichever way that you can. So if you're just going to be a shit stirrer, then just join a Nata company. What can I say? Yeah.
Now, like you've rightly spoken against it, but there are a few people or few views which are sort of an apologist point of view, or a view which sort of justifies what happened. So, who do you put more blame on? Do you put the blame on people who consume such content, or do you put the blame back on those people who are propagating such content? Because there's obviously a, what do you can call it? You can obviously call it a circle, because somewhere I think those who are saying that people also consume it are right, because we also want masala and gossip in everything that
Yeah.
we consume in our life. So where do you think a line needs to be drawn?
You would want if you're calling yourself a journalist, if you represent the media. Now the thing is, we always say, oh, audio visual media and reporting and print media and all the rest of it. If you're a journalist, there has to be a certain sort of respect for facts. There has to be a certain respect for perspective and proportion. And there has to be a certain less quantity of doing chaplacy. So chaplacy is not journalism. Chaplacy is chaplacy. And you'll see it mostly it will reflect itself very, very actively in social media. You see it everywhere. He's a great human being. This is like some new designation. Slow left arm bowler. What is the other thing? Slow left arm bowler, right hand bat, and great human being. There is no such thing as great human being category. Yeah, stop it. All sportsmen, all of us are flawed people. We all have our thing. I mean, you can say, when you're 25 years old, you can say that and be swept away by some personality or whatever. When you're 45 years, you are a little bit more. You must have a little bit more of a. I mean, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to say, oh, people should not consume. That's very sort of almost righteous and whatever.
Utopian.
You should have, you should have a certain sense of responsibility as to what you're doing. And if you don't, then you will just be, found out for being whatever. I mean, Yeah, don't if you're not a fan club is a fan club. I accept it. It's great. Fan clubs are fantastic things. But a journalist is not part of a fan club. Should not be. A seasoned journalist 100% should not be. A young reporter, you can say, okay, all right, you're in your first 10 years of work. But these things happen. All of us sort of go through this thing. But when you're some 45 years old, you should not be doing this.